Hey, 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 Cone Connect! Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, as I peek out my audio and take a peek at one of the most astounding replays. I tell you, for realsies, this was inspiring. I woke up this morning and I actually thought to myself, you know, what am I doing with these YouTube videos that I spend so much time on? I spent so much time playing video games yesterday and being utterly useless to the world. And I thought, you know what, that's a problem. But what about the time I spend, the 20 minutes that I spend editing and voiceovering these YouTube videos every day? What about that? And I thought, you know what? The reason I'm here is to connect with people, and I also like to give people some exposure that they wouldn't normally get. You know what I'm saying? When you have those incredible moments in a game and you're like, wow, I want to share that with people, but I also don't want to learn to edit videos, download some software, for me it was so hard to get started making videos just to talk myself into it, because I didn't even know like what software to use. I didn't want to spend money on a video editing suite and all these other things. Yes. Oh, and by the way, we're gonna give this a shot today. This is Baby Zoe, guest star, as my support commentator here. You might hear her babbling, but I need to tell you, with an already quick 2 kills, Torstein 32 in the cone is going to show us, and you will see the issues that this vehicle has to deal with. One of the least effective anti-tank rounds in the entire game, not even tier for tier, but period, is going to be used, aiming very carefully for flat parts of armor, weak spots, and the like, to acquire an incredible, beautiful shot on the only flat surface of armor, the only place he could punch through. Baby Zoe, you're making a mess! Ah! She just put a little souffle into my dip. So I've got some dip here. I've got some hot sauce mixed with honey mustard, and in another little souffle. Souffle, it just means like a small dish. I think it's actually called like a ramekin or something when it's this size. Hey baby. And now she put a tater tot onto my keyboard. So Torstein in the cone, the FCM, what is it, FCM 32? I can't remember, but the cannon on this tank is a 37mm absolute stub gun. It's basically the smallest anti-tank cannon in the game, excluding some of these 20 mils that actually get decent high velocity ammunition and a much higher fire rate. What do you get with the FCM 32? Overall, fairly good armor for its battle rating, and the most trash anti-tank round in the game. Stuck with high velocity armor piercing, the only thing that can punch through a reasonable amount of armor, and HVAP, as we know, is crap in this game. Not that you could tell, since Torstein already has 5 kills. Baby Zoe, you are pushing my mic arm around. You're not even really commentating. Yeah, you're just doing chaos. Yeah, can you say chaos? Anyway, where was I going with this one? I'm extremely distracted right now, but I wanted to mention that Torstein is actually playing, as you can see, on a PlayStation account. So I asked him, I said, hey, are you playing on a gamepad? Because your aiming was impressive. Also, look at this standoff, 2 enemy tanks. I have a general rule of thumb, as Torstein's ally gets taken down. If there are 2 enemies looking at me, I'm not going to pop out of cover. And that is exactly the line of reasoning that I see Thorstein going with here. And apologies if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but I like to the shta, and so I am just pronouncing it that way. You can see that even at around 100 meters distance, with barely an angle on this Italian boy, rank 1 tank, I've noticed these are fairly popular. The Italians have the meta vehicle in this case, with a good cannon, good armor, and decent mobility, whereas of course the Cone has one thing going for it, and that is, I think it's 45 millimeters of angled armor on most of the hull, and a turret that is no slouch either, with no room for a decent cannon, but room for one man to poke his head up and have a reasonable amount of protection for the interwar period. Anyway, Thorstein repositioning wisely, just completely refusing to engage with those two Italian medium tanks, essentially, that have set up shop together, and finding a new place to influence the course of the battle with already 5 kills and some brilliant gameplay. I asked Thorstein, were you playing on a gamepad? And he answered me and said actually he was playing on a trackpad. So he has a trackpad / keyboard combo that he was playing on. It's a Logitech. It goes for around $40 online. So a fantastic deal, by the way. I'm a huge fan of Logitech. I've always had a good experience with their equipment. Kachiga. And look at this. Look at that tiny angle that defeats the APCR. Just ridiculous. And yet Thorstein gets his kill. The gunner not yet in position on that Panzer 38. We'll go with 38. It might be an earlier model. The Czech tank that you will be checking out quite often in the Swedish line. That hull saw a lot of mileage for the Sweetie boys and a lot of other minor nations. Anyway, where was I going? So Thorstein is playing on a keyboard trackpad combo. So this is not the pinnacle. Hi, baby. Are you touching the microphone? Are you touching? No! No! Ow! You're so quiet. You are so quiet. You are beautiful. Your eyes are just so gorgeous. And it's so easy to see that you're a happy baby. Yes. You are beautiful. She looks like her mommy. She has that beautiful copper hair. Hi, baby. A little soft baby skin. Yeah. She just started walking. She walks around now, and she lifts her hands up in the air. Like she lifts her hands up in the air sometimes, saying, Ayo. Only it's all the time. She's hey yo all the time. But, what I wanted to say is that there's a lot of things that can make you feel like your vehicle just can't perform. Let's call them handicaps in the game of War Thunder. And yet here we see with this this French pyramid tank, the cone head, if you will, that even with what may actually be the worst anti-tank round in the game, and using hardware that is not to your highest advantage, right? I love my Elite gamer mouse that my wife gave to me because it was too big for her hand, Kachiga, and my other mouse got instantaneously destroyed by a certain toddler. Hi, baby Zoe. Not naming names, but it was you. And you feel the advantage of quality equipment when it comes to this game, and you know what, you don't have to pay a huge price for it. Like, this gamer mouse was, I think it was around $35, but that, you know, for some people that puts it outside of your price range. But on a budget setup, a PlayStation with a $40 keyboard / trackpad combo can accomplish such incredible things. 9 kills in the FCM, in the Conehead, and now I have a question for you. After saying GG, well played to okay, what was his name? I'm sorry, I get distracted. Yeah, that name. Anyway, I decided to look through my replays and see if I had anything from ConeOfArc sitting around, and I have featured his replays quite a bit, and usually right away, because as I constantly mention, this guy that used to be Mr. Steve Crafter, that is now ConeOfArc, in memoriam of the most charismatic ground vehicle in War Thunder, of course, the FCM Conehead. ConeOfArc here is going to ask you the question: do you believe in reincarnation? That being, this is going to be a battle that you often see in the game of War Thunder, and yet you don't often see in a YouTube War Thunder video. This is going to be a battle of suffering, of attrition, of determination, of respawning. One of the things that I've mentioned before about ConeOfArc is that he is dedicated to playing ground forces, and I'm actually on completely the opposite side of the spectrum. My favorite thing is to get into an aircraft, and this would be the point where I do that, but not Cone. He is going to press on with puissance. Sorry, I'm feeling a bit French today. I did have my mustard after all. Yes, that's a lovely bottle. This is a nice Coca-Cola glass bottle with decorative green Play-Doh smeared into both the neck and the base of the artistic piece. A fine choice, baby Zoe. I think I smell a poo-poo in that diaper. Yeah, I'm going to have my work cut out for me in a couple of minutes when I get around to dealing with that. It's okay. I can tell from the smell that it's a little bit more solid of a putty, so hopefully it won't be too jammed up into her bits by the time I get done making this video. Hi. Hi, baby. That's my phone. Yes. Are you presenting it? You want me to eat it? Oh. Does this make you happy? Are you satisfied? Is this entertaining? No! 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 I mean, come on. When my 1-year-old looks at me like that, and she offers me some food that happens to be my cell phone, I just gotta bite it. So if I get a little bit distracted, then that is just the nature of things. 4 kills and 1 death, with a quick respawn in the Tiger 2P, a perpetual vehicle in the game of War Thunder ever since getting its battle rating reduced to 6.3, has been and will continue to be a meta heavy tank, excelling at the long range game and very capable in the hands of a disciplined player, even at the corner peeking game of War Thunder, with only some weak spots in the turret and otherwise among the best armor at 6.3, along with the ever excellent... Hi, baby Zoe. Can people hear you touching the microphone? Maybe. Oh, she's leaning on me. You are so warm and so soft and so lovely, and I love you. You are precious. You are so precious. This is my precious baby girl, and I don't usually record while she's in my space, but I decided to make an exception today because I sort of wanted to make a statement, and that is that I love my babies. Hi, baby. And that's my real job, is to raise these girls and to raise them well, and their joy is the proof that I'm doing my job well. And I see the joy on this girl's face when I look her in the eyes. Hi, beautiful. I love you. And normally, there wouldn't be a special reason for me to mention that, but I wanted you guys to know something too. As you may be aware, I'm a youth pastor. I still retain the role on my Discord, and I perform that role for my friends. And if you're listening, then you already have an invitation to be my friend. You know what? I'm going to be a friend to you, and you do whatever you want to do with that. And what I wanted to tell you as a friend is that you are precious to the Lord God. That when God looks at you, the way God feels about you is the way I feel about my girls. Only even better, right? Pure and refined. And you are truly precious to him. And whatever, hey, hi baby. She grabbed my water bottle, or she grabbed my water jar here. I've got a quart of water, and it would be a quart of lake on my desk if she had her way. Hey, you're not allowed to climb up on the table. Hey, there are rules and restrictions. Out of my love. Anyway, I need to wrap up my my little spiel here before I miss all the action that ConeOfArc is accomplishing here with death after death. And that is that this is Youth Pastor Toshio saying that you're precious and you're loved, and not in some fickle or superstitial or empty or manipulative way. God simply loves you. He really, really cherishes and values you no matter where you are, because while you were still ignorant, while you were still his enemy, he sent his only son to pay the ultimate price, to die for you. And that is the only message that everyone is supposed to know about Christianity, and that's the heart, and it never goes anywhere away from that. You are precious. You are loved. And every time I love on my girls, it's just like an outpouring of the way that we are all meant to feel about all of us. You are really somebody fantastic and wonderful and incredibly valuable. And now I think I need to wrap up that whole statement with 2 kills. No, 3, deaths, 8 kills, and oodles of determination. ConeOfArc even dedicating a backup, a respawn. He rose again after dying for the sins of his team. He rises. My goodness, baby, you are chucking my cell phone. This is why Daddy always gets... Okay, she actually killed the audio that time. She's reaching across my desk and she's grabbing everything that she can. So she's reaching like super far, and she grabbed my mouse and she spam clicked across the screen. Anyway, this is my life when the babies are around. And of course, she's not a baby anymore. She's a toddler. But let's talk for a brief moment about what ConeOfArc is doing in this replay. He has picked up 12 kills. He has struggled his way out of the spawn that is perpetually camped in this map. I think we're all familiar with that aspect. The American team rolling over Cone's team and just completely dominating them. And yet, even using the backup respawn on the Tiger 2P, Cone is doing everything he can with 14 kills, a Robin Hood shot through down the length of the cannon barrel of that enemy medium tank, as well as taking down the what's it called? The anti-air chaffee. Sorry, it's one of my favorite SPAA, if not my favorite, especially since it's so reliable to get into aircraft with. And she killed the replay again. Sorry, you don't see this, but she is actually just completely causing havoc here with my recordings. That's the third time that she stopped my recording. No more touching the keyboard, baby Zoe. You're adorable, but you have to have boundaries. She's smiling at me. She's literally just lunging across my desk and grabbing whatever she can and then pulling it to her and then just mauling the heck out of it. She wants to feel everything. She's doing science. Are you doing science? Hi, baby. Are you a little scientist? I love you. Anyway, why does anybody watch these videos anymore? Welcome to Family Time with Papa Toshio. You're precious to the Lord, and I love seeing these replays. ConeOfArc is one of those guys that, again, he regularly makes quality YouTube content on the game of War Thunder and other games. Go ahead and check out his channel if you haven't. But these kinds of videos where you're just constantly dying and respawning and fighting your way through things, and you know what? He's trying to hold the line here, but there comes a point where there's only so much you can do, and that doesn't often make it into a video. It's sort of painful to watch and yet inspiring at the same time. I was reminded when thinking about this match, because I actually thought about this one, interesting, when I woke up this morning, and this verse came to mind that says something along the lines of, the righteous get knocked down 100 times and they get back up again. They rise again. But one knockdown, one knockout is enough for the ungodly. What does that mean? Well, it just means that we can't be defeated. That's all that means. One of my favorite things about being a born-again Christian, as I completely ignore what Cone is doing, as per usual, is that I'm allowed to fail. And I'm allowed to get beat up. I'm allowed to get beat down. I have unlimited respawn points. ConeOfArc effectively unlimited respawns here, as he has harvested so much SP, and he is playing only ground vehicles that have a great SP efficiency when compared with aircraft, where you can blow 1,000 SP compared with maybe 400 or so, 400 to get into this medium tank. But there are so many limits, right? Because this is a fair fight, right? The enemy team is actually allowed to win in this one. They can drain your SP. They can knock you out of a match. They can knock you down, and they only have to eliminate you from the match once, right? But the game for a born-again Christian, that's somebody that's devoted their life to the Lord, and yeah, youth pastor talking here, remember that you're precious. But the game is rigged for us. Like, I'm allowed to fail, and I will. And yet the victory is already won. Can't say the same for ConeOfArc here, as he struggles his way through a triple ace, spawning again and again and again, playing the objective, playing aggressively, furiously even, and definitely doing his best to hold up the team, and succumbing to their corporate wounds in the end. Victory not attainable. And you know what? That's sort of the way the game is rigged in real life. You live, you suffer, and you die. That is the experience for all of us. And yet, I have put my complete trust, based on the evidence that's been revealed to me, in the one who has rigged the game at his own expense to where we can't lose. And I cannot tell you how much that means to me. I owe a huge debt of gratitude to the Lord Jesus. But anyway, you were expecting to see some replays. And hopefully you've been able to feast your eyes on some incredible gameplay that has inspired you. And with that, I bid you adieu. There's more to say. There's more to see, as the eye is never done seeing. And so I will hope to catch you in the next video. And if you'd like to catch up with me, there's a link in the description of this video to my Discord, which is my biggest artery of community interaction, of social life, and I'd love to catch you there. See you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.